And this is where I'm going to name a player because I feel like you're very upfront about some of your misses. I'm going to name your miss that I had, but this is Daiyan Henley from Washington State. He came via Nevada, so he was a member of the Wolf Pack before he was a member of Wazoo, and which they're also Wolf Pack, right?
What?
Did
No,
just,
no.
no.
Cougars. The Cougars.
Cougars, that's right. Yeah, it's late. Okay. 6'1", 225, 33-inch arms, 4.54 in the 40, 35-inch vert, 10 broad. So fine numbers there. He had 1,700 career snaps, 666 in 2022. He was involved in 5 sacks. He had 40 stops in each of the last 2 years, which is pretty productive. He only had 5 missed tackles last year, the whole year, which I thought was great. But when I watched his film, I got some big-time Davion Taylor vibes. And Davion Taylor was the guy that I thought was going to be the next coming. And he very well could be still. I'm not closing the door. One of, some of my favorite people in the league, the Eagles, they drafted him 3rd round. But Davion Taylor was a guy when he played for Colorado, athletic as hell, fast, played in the slot, and was amazing at it, right? And when he got to the NFL, and I asked around about him, and I asked, like, when are you going to take Davion Taylor? Like, he seems really good to me. They're like, doesn't know how to play the position, right? And so I get concerned when I see Henley when he's playing over the slot player all the time because he's athletic as heck for a linebacker. When you get to the NFL, there's going to be somebody who's more athletic than you playing over the slot. So you got to be able to play Sam, Will, or Mike, mostly Mike and Will, and I have questions.
Do you think this guy's a 3-down player?
I don't. I don't, but I don't know what he's doing on the first 2. Like, the problem is like, so is he just going to come in? Is he going to be a sub backer? Is he going to be a guy that comes in the smaller packages?
Which is tough because, I mean, look, I have my feelings about him as well. I think, look, he's another downhill guy. That's why, like, I keep looking at these linebackers and I'm like, gosh, where are the guys that I really want out on the field to cover, the stud athletes, right? The really explosive athletes who can move, who can stay in phase. I mean, this guy rips it up inside. You've seen it. I mean, he is, I saw someone reporting on him saying I think he was like a raucous or rambunctious type of player. He is, right? He'll throw himself around and he's making plays. He's a rough and tough guy, I think. What was his weight? 2.25?
225. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, he's making plays where you look at him, you're thinking, wow, this guy's got to be a little bit bigger than that. But again, I think he's more of a straight line guy. I don't see him. Did you see do you have his numbers by chance there from the combine? Do you have his three cone at all? Or is it close?
He doesn't have those from the combine, which I think is actually telling, right? Like probably sat out that event for a reason.
Yeah. I'm just surprised, and I wonder where Chris is talking about him. Where is he projected right now? He's just another guy that is, again, I love what he does, and I love his style of play as far as being a tough ass and throwing himself around and making plays. I do. He's a special teamer in this league, of course. He's got to be there. He's got to be running down and lighting people up. But there are going to be some questions when it's truly open field. Although you said, I saw that. You said he only had 5 misses. Is that correct?
He's only had 15 missed tackles the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yep. So like there is some value, and the fact is, like, look, when the Eagles took Taylor in round 3, like this is a team that I think from a evaluator and an analytics perspective does about as well as anybody in the league, and they see, and obviously Taylor hasn't been great for them, but like they saw a value there. The stats life production, I think, is he says round 3 is a good value for Henley. Like, I think, like, if he can avoid some of the pitfalls, right, and he can learn the position, it's just really hard, Thomas, right? Like, if you're going to literally teach the guy some new things about football when he's trying to play against professionals, to me, that's just a really hard, way to go anywhere but round 3. Now, I think from my perspective, Chris Sims is probably saying, none of these guys are starters. None of these guys are 3-down players. And so I'm going to pick the guy who, in a perfect world where I can coach the guy up and get him into a, this is the best athlete to work with. And maybe that's the case, because when what you've said of the top 3 guys are kind of the top two guys at least, long guys, take a while to, and we're not running 200-meter dashes here. We're trying to cover running backs and tight ends. So, maybe that's what he sees here. But to me, when I watch the film, like and you get PTSD over like your sort of, not to be, but you get that over some of your bad evals in my case. And I got that when I saw Henley.